Hey everybody, today I wanted to show you how I took my hair from very dark brown to this sort of ombre blonde color. I decided I wanted to do this because I was kind of just getting sick of my dark hair. I don't tend to stick with one color for very long. I am not a professional by any means, so just a disclaimer on that. I just love to experiment with hair, and at least that's my philosophy on it, is that it is just hair. I do not stick with any one color or style for very long with my hair, and that is how I like it. So do not do any of these things if you are not willing to take that risk. Please go see a professional, but if you are like me and you prefer to just do it yourself, then please keep watching and I will show you how I took my hair from a dark brown to this ombre. Alright, so the first thing that I did was mix up my bleach component, and with doing that I took 1 scoop of my bleach and about 1.5 ounces of my developer. I chose to use 30 volume developer. You certainly could use 40 volume developer, but that is going to be a little bit more intense for your hair and is probably going to cause more damage. Also, depending on how close you're going to be getting to your scalp, you definitely don't want to be using volume 40 just because it can burn and be really irritating to your skin. I mixed up the bleach and then I applied it to my hair. I did this pretty messily and then I just wrapped each chunk in foil like you're going to see. And I basically just did this all the way around. And as you can see where I'm taking those pieces, I'm just basically grabbing a chunk of hair and then back combing it up at the point where I want the blonde and the brown to kind of fade together. I wish in hindsight that I had gone a little higher with the bleach for my first process. I didn't really know how far up I wanted the bleach. As you can see here, I brought it up eventually closer to like my eyebrow, and I prefer that a lot more than where I had it, which was about the ear. I let that process for about 40 minutes. I started checking probably around 20 minutes and checked every 5 to 10 minutes just to see where I was going, and just kept letting it go. If your hair is as dark as mine, which was more like a level 3 or even like a level 2 in some areas, you're definitely not gonna get as much lift as you want in one process. So you're gonna get to the point of about an orangey brassy color and then you're just gonna stop for the most part. At least my hair did. When I got to that point, I knew that that was about as far as one bleach process could take me, so I rinsed it out and dried, and then you can see what I was left with. Obviously, it is very brassy and orange, but I'm okay with that because that's where I expected it to be. If this is all the more lightness that you want, you could tone it here with a very bluish, purpley toner and get probably more of a cool color like you're wanting. But if you're like me and you wanted to go a little bit more blonde, then you process it again. So I basically did the exact same step all over again, except I went a little bit higher with the bleach and I saturated it a little bit more, and I liked the way that that looked, and that helped to create more of that ombre effect. So after the second bleach process, I did use toner, and for that I used the Color Charm by Wella, and I used the T18, which is the lightest ash blonde. And I like this because it has a very strong purple undertone, and that helps to eliminate a lot of those orangey yellow tones. If your hair is not light enough, this won't really do what it's supposed to, but if you get your hair to kind of that light orange, dark yellow color, goldish color, which is where I got it to, that worked for me. And for that, I mixed 1 part toner and 2 parts volume 20 developer. You can use pretty much whatever developer you want. I like the Salon Care from Sally Beauties, and I also like the Sensitive Scalp Ion brand. I like them both, so I just usually buy whatever on sale at Sally Beauty. After I bleached it twice and toned it once, basically what I was left with was kind of still a little bit of a warmish color, blonde color, and I was okay with that. However, I ended up doing the whole process one more time and I failed to film it, so I'm really sorry about that, but I did literally the exact same thing that I did for a bleach process and the toner process for the step 2 and step 3. And so I just did that and I didn't even do it all over. I just was very sparingly with it. I just put a little bit more here by my face where you can see that it's gotten a little bit lighter. And then just some random pieces in the back, just because I wanted a little bit more lift to some of the pieces. So after I did that, I toned it again, and then that was what I got with this. So from the very dark brown to this was 3 bleach processes and 1 toning process. Although I probably could have gotten away with 1 less bleach process, because that first time I only took the bleach to very low. If I'd gone a little bit higher and saturated it more and maybe even used a volume 40 developer, I could have maybe achieved it with 2 bleach processes. Now, a couple other things that I wanted to mention. Obviously with bleach, you're not supposed to be doing it one right after another. I'm incredibly impatient, so I did not wait 2 to 3 weeks in between the bleach processes like you probably should. But I did wait a day or 2 in between. I did not use this and I wished I would have known about it, but this is the Color Brilliance Absolute Perfection Booster Step 1. It just comes in a tiny little vial like this, and it has instructions on it. And I loved using this when I did my friend's hair a little bit ago, and I did that for my last bleach process. You mix up your bleach like normal, the 1 scoop to 1.5 ounces of developer, and then you squeeze about half of this in after it's mixed together. And I feel like this really did help to prevent a lot of damage, and I think it helps to shorten the amount of time you can go between bleaching your hair. So if you use something like this or olaplex, which is a little bit more expensive, you can get that on Amazon. It's basically supposed to help preserve the protein and the integrity of your hair when you're doing processes like this. And so I think if you use something like this or olaplex, you probably could get away with even doing it in a couple of days, but I definitely recommend using something like this, even though I did not use it for the first couple times that I bleached my hair. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was purple shampoo. I love this one from Matrix. This is their So Silver. As you can see, it has a very intense violet color. Whenever I shampoo my hair, I always use a purple shampoo. I've used this one, and I've also used the Clairol Shimmers, and I've also used the John Frieda one, I think, or is it L'Oreal, the one that you can get at Walmart. I did not like that one, and you can even tell when you open it, it's more of like a lavender color, that one, so I don't recommend it. I really like this Matrix one, and I like the Clairol Shimmer. You can get that one at Sally Beauty, and you can get this one at like Trade Secret and a couple other stores you can get this from, or online. These really do help to maintain more of like an ashy color, which is what I prefer. So I would definitely recommend using a purple shampoo if you're gonna be going blonde and you started at more of a darker color, because generally when you bleach hair, it tends to bleach to a very warm tone. And so a lot of times you'll want to tone. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. Again, not a professional, I just like doing my own hair. If you guys are a lot more attached to your hair, I would definitely recommend consulting with a professional first. But if you're like me and you just like to do things yourself, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.